I want us to rate Todd Boehly's signings so far. I'm going to start off going from the cheapest ones. Obviously, we've got a couple of loans in there, and then we'll build our way up. The options are success, flop, or jury still out. Quick bit of context for this. We don't want to just say jury still out on every player. We might be accused of short-termism, but Todd Boehly's only owned the club for less than a year. If we say jury still out on every player, it wouldn't be a very fucking good video, would it?
No, exactly.
So let's start you off. João Felix.
Success.
I'll go success too.
100%.
Interesting one. Dennis Zakaria.
See, I don't want to say jury's still out on that one, but I'm going to say success because he's come in when he's got a chance to play in this team. Fuck me, is he taking his chance, and he's ran with it. You know, he sat on the bench for so long, 2-3 months, didn't get a sniff. Originally, he was brought in under Tuchel. Tuchel wanted him to be a starting man.
It was like...
He never played any games under Tuchel and he was there for a month, which was fucking bizarre. Yeah. But then he's come on, grabbed the game by the scruff of the neck and just run with it.
Well, I was actually in attendance for his first start, which was Champions League.
He bagged the goal in that game as well, didn't he?
Yeah, he scored a goal. Yeah. Even a match, he did a ridiculous bit of skill against Man City in that match. Did you see that bit of skill? Ridiculous, yeah.
Brought it back, made him look silly.
I would say success. If we lean into it, the obvious one, be jury still out. I'd say success with that. David Datro Fofana.
Again, jury still out. We haven't seen him really play. I mean, I know he came on and scored. He played for the under-21s yesterday, and he got his first goal in a Chelsea shirt, which is always good to see. But I'd love to see more of him. You know, you can't say he's a flop because he's only played less than 90 minutes over the course of 3 months. He'll go on alone, nothing wrong with that.
Gabriel Slanina.
Gaga, that's what they call him. Yeah,
it's just got to be jury still out.
Jury still out. We haven't seen him. He's played all of his games in the under-21s team.
Aubameyang.
Flop.
Bought him for 10 million from Barcelona. Right. It's got to be flop so far,
flop, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, he's just probably one of the worst signings we signed. You know, it would have been even worse if we paid a higher price tag for him because I think originally they wanted close to 25 million. I'm glad we only fucking paid 10.
Done a little bit of promo before the Arsenal game saying, "Oh, it's nothing personal, mate. You didn't get a sniff." Like, it's scattered thinking though from the club. You can't really even blame Aubameyang because if you was him, you'd have took the move. You'd have done it.
Oh, 100%.
So it's just scattered thinking from the club. We move on very swiftly. I'm going to say success, even though this player hasn't made a start. Andre Santos. I can't see him being anything but a success. Mate. I really can't. And when you look at it, for 18 million, it's a gamble on a young player, but the way transfer inflation's gone, I'm going to say success for that.
But mate, I can't fucking wait to see him. I've seen some of his highlights from when he was playing for Brazil. Fuck me, the guy looks like a menace.
Kane Chukwuemeka, 20 mil from Aston Villa.
We haven't seen enough of him, but I'm still going to say success because from what I have seen of him, I really like him.
I'm gonna go
It brings that energy.
Player I haven't seen much of, obviously 26 million, not brought in straight away, is Malo Gusto.
I haven't really seen too much of him, but I think it's going to be pivotal to obviously have that right back option because, you know, if you look back at sort of Reece as well, he's been quite injury prone over the last couple of years, but from what I've seen of Marlowe, he seems to be a very good rapid player and he wants to come in from a statement that he's made and contend for that spot. That's a fucking bold statement to come in and say you want to contend for probably the best right back in the world. I'm not just saying that because I'm a Chelsea fan. Reece is fucking the best white. Reece on his day. You know, Reece recently hasn't been having the best of games. He's been playing average, which is some players' fucking best, you know, but we've got that expectation of him.
Well, an average Reece James is just a Reece James that does everything right, crosses the T's, dots the I's, gets nothing wrong, but doesn't do anything exceptional. No, exactly. That's an average Reece James. Yeah. If we go on to an average Cucurella... Right, okay, let's move on swiftly. Noni Madueke from PSV, 29 million. I am going to go success. Yourself?
I would swing a little bit more to the jury still out. I mean, I think he will show some good glimpses, but he hasn't had much game time recently. But the game
what I've seen, though.
I've very much liked what I've seen. He's not afraid to cut in off that right wing and pull the trigger, which is what we need. And again,
this is what we're saying about Chelsea fans, right? And this is why it is unique. Like, records are for DJs, mate. I know you say it's a results business and whatnot, but actually, people go, "Oh, typical Chelsea fan." Like, I've had it a lot, recently, and I think, typical fucking Chelsea fan. Mate, we've won 1 out of 15 matches, and I'm still paying 50, 60 quid to get up the bridge as much as I can and whatever, and it's not like we're going through a cost of living crisis or anything.
Exactly.
I put my hand in my pocket to support my club. I'll have whatever opinion I want. Like, you know what I mean? And
you're still in the studio defending them after...
One thing that they'll say about Chelsea fans and stuff, and whatever, but I can say, like, from a Chelsea fan's perspective, I've watched Madueke give away the ball multiple times, and I'm still saying success because he's doing what I want. Yeah, it's like Gallagher.
He's taking those risks.
Gallagher might have a bad game sometimes, but he's doing what I want. We need people like that. There was a long time when we said about Arsenal, great players, but no one that's direct enough, no one with that spite, you know, and I'm on about years gone by, not at a minute. And, you know, I'd agree. And with Chelsea, we need that. And I think Madueke's a player that I can see that from already.
What's the risk without the reward?
For 33 mil, Koulibaly.
I think he's been a flop.
Yeah.
Overall, which is...
It's just because of his age, it's hard to say jury's still out, isn't it?
Yeah, but exactly. I mean, you know, he's near enough had a full season with international breaks in between as well. But I think, bar the last 3 games, it's a flop. You know, I hope he continues to go on the good run that he's been on now, because last 3 games, you know, like I said earlier.
I think when we look at it, we go 33 mil for a 33-year-old.
Yeah, I think 32, 33.
Yeah, you're not going to get a return on your investment in terms of that. Yeah, and also, you know, maybe we bought him 3 years too late. You can't really give someone of that age. Jury's still out, so you'd have to go flop. But then I don't actually think he is. I just think he's slightly overpriced, as a lot of players in today's market are, and can probably do a job. And look, if we go and win the Champions League, there's no way we'll be saying that, because he will be a starting berth in that Champions League squad. Exactly. So we move swiftly on to one that we'll definitely both say success. So I think we can keep it pretty short. Benoit Badiashile. Benoit Badiashile for 35 million from Monaco.
Mate,
you got to go success,
what still? Yeah,
he's
been nothing
going to be
great.
some player.
Mate.
Really, really, really top level player. Raheem Sterling for 47.5 million. I think that was pretty much his sort of announcement signing, one of his first, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'd go success.
We haven't seen the best of Sterling here, but we've seen glimpses of the old Raheem.
Criminally underrated player.
He's so good.
People saying about Sterling brings out the worst in a lot of people. It really does. When I say stuff about him, comment sections and whatever, I don't know, mate. Marc Cucurella, 60 million. Yourself first?
He's been a flop to start with, mate. I mean, the only best game he's had for us is the game that we played against Dortmund recently, and, you know, it's 60 million quid. Yeah. It's a lot of money.
I'll go flop. And I won't even bring the price tag into it. I just don't think he's been up to it. He had a man of the match performance against Dortmund.
Yeah,
I don't know. I feel like they're giving out medals for not making...
Was that a participation medal, wasn't it?
Yeah, I feel like that was a medal for not making as many mistakes as you usually do. Yeah. I looked at... I thought, was I watching the wrong match and whatever? Let me go back and just look at his individual highlights. I won't go into too much detail on it. I would say flop now, but hopefully he proves me wrong. Yeah. Wesley Fofana, 75 mil. The price tag's very, very high. Yeah. But I would say, from what I've seen of him, I think he's going to go on to be a top defender. So I'd put him in success, would you?
Yeah, I'd say success. He had a small transitional period when he first joined the club. And obviously he got injured, but since he come back from injury, fuck me, mate, like, he's undroppable. Like, the guy's just been playing so well.
Mykhailo Mudryk.
I think the jury's still out on that one. You can't. Still out. You know, he's played He's played 3 games out of a potential 8 or 9.
You got to remember they weren't in season though.
Exactly. Pre-season was when we hit a really bad rough patch, which is a very difficult transition period for any player to do, let alone a young Ukrainian who's obviously suffering a lot from things that are obviously going on around the world, which he obviously pays massive tribute to. So I'm going to say success for Mudryk.
I'm going to go jury still out for Mudryk, but I do think that we'll see glimpses of brilliance. Next season's when we really got to see it. You got to remember, he's coming in from not even a top 5 league. Yep. Okay, he's done well, played Champions League football and that, but he's not coming in from a top 5 league. He's also coming in without a pre-season. Country's gone through God knows what in the last however many months, and that would have directly affected him and his family and his loved ones and things like that. So I think we give him a pre-season. We'll see next season, but for the time being, I'm optimistic, definitely looking at that.